Jay Leno has been in the game for decades. He made a fortune, hosted The Tonight Show for ages, and still, somehow, remains one of the most controversial figures in late-night history. Some people can't stand him. Howard Stern's trashed him for years. Conan O'Brien didn't even want him as a guest on his own show. But Leno's got opinions too. And when it comes to his time on The Tonight Show, he hasn't been shy about naming the guest he hated interviewing the most. So, who made the top of Leno's list? Not a politician, not some out-of-control rock star. No, his pick was Trista Sutter, the first ever bachelorette. Back in 2014, Leno was on The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, and the conversation turned to bad guests. Leno didn't even hesitate. He immediately brought up Sutter. He admitted he had zero interest in talking to her, calling The Bachelorette a stupid reality show, and saying the entire interview was just him staring at the side of her head, completely checked out. But it didn't stop there, because Jay Leno walked out of the studio and straight into the most awkward moment possible. See, after the taping, Leno runs into this woman in the parking lot. She asks for a picture. He says sure, makes small talk. At one point, he even asks her name. She just stares at him. He asks again. And it's Trista Sutter. Yeah, he spent an entire interview talking to her, then walked outside and still didn't recognize her. If he wasn't interested before, that moment pretty much sealed it. Now, Trista Sutter could have taken offense, but she didn't. Instead, she tweeted something along the lines of, "Hey, thanks for the shout out, Jay. Next time, plug my book." Not exactly the reaction you'd expect from someone who was just publicly called a boring guest. And look, Leno's explanation for why he wasn't into the interview is pretty simple. He doesn't watch reality TV, and he especially doesn't care about the Bachelor franchise. But he's also not the first late-night host to struggle with guests like that. Letterman, Carson, even Craig Ferguson himself, all of them had moments where they just couldn't fake interest in whoever was sitting across from them. As for Trista, she didn't exactly let the whole thing ruin her life. She married Ryan Sutter, her final pick on The Bachelorette, and they're still together, raising a family. She's written books, given interviews about their marriage, and even does daily gratitude posts on social media, so yeah, she's doing fine.